Wanda Maximoff tore open the multiverse to find her lost children. But what she saw was not a dream, it was a nightmare made of her. In this world, she never gave up her grief, she gave in to it. The Scarlet Witch rules this universe with fear, not love. Her children call her mother, but they serve her like soldiers. The Avengers here are dead, by her hands. And now, our Wanda stands face to face with the monster she could have become. But what if her children want that Wanda back? Wanda Maximoff stood on the ancient stone balcony of Camartage, her eyes scanning the wind-swept Himalayan sky. The mountains were still, but her soul was anything but. Ever since the fall of the Darkhold and her redemption at Wundagore, something had changed, not outside her, but within. She had tried to accept their absence. She had tried to move on. But a mother doesn't forget. And a witch never gives up. Over weeks, Wanda had quietly traced echoes across the multiverse, faint magical pulses that resonated with the essence of Billy and Tommy, her lost children. She consulted forbidden scrolls and cosmic maps, all while Dr. Strange watched with growing concern. He warned her, the multiverse doesn't give. It takes. Whatever you find, might not want to be found. But Wanda didn't listen. Today, the magic was sharp, urgent. She opened her palm, revealing a glowing thread of scarlet chaos energy. It trembled like a compass needle pulled by fate. With trembling hands, she began the incantation, an ancient spell that bent the veil between universes. The air shimmered, cracked, and tore. A circular rift bloomed before her, revealing a fragmented, flickering vision. She saw them, Billy and Tommy, alive. They stood atop a broken citadel beneath a red sky, clad in unfamiliar armor. Their faces were older, hardened, and at their sides stood a towering figure cloaked in crimson and shadow. It was her. No, not her, but a version of her. A version that radiated control, not compassion. That carried power not like a burden, but like a weapon. Wanda stumbled back, heart racing. What had she just opened? As the portal stabilized, Strange arrived, eyes wide with horror. Wanda, close it. Now. But she didn't. She stepped forward. I'm going, she said. They're still out there. Strange moved to stop her, but Wanda vanished into the glowing circle, swallowed by the rift. The portal snapped shut. Silence returned to the balcony, but Camartage would remember the day Scarlet Witch broke the veil, not for power, but for love. Only the universe she entered had long forgotten love, and worshipped fear instead. The light faded, and Wanda fell through silence. Her body felt stretched between seconds, her mind slipping through infinite echoes of herself, a billion Wandas across a billion worlds, each whispering fragments of her pain. When she landed, it wasn't with grace. She hit hard, the air thick with ash and static. The sky above was crimson, burning with faint veins of magic. The air smelled of iron and ruin. Wanda staggered to her feet, her boots crunching over shattered glass and scorched stone. This was New York, or what was left of it. Stark Tower was a blackened husk, its letters half melted into the skyline. The Avengers logo lay cracked on the street like a gravestone. She reached out with her magic, and froze. The entire city pulsed with chaos energy. Her energy. It clung to every building, every shadow, like the scent of something holy and terrible. A sound echoed through the ruins. A procession. She turned. Hundreds of civilians were walking in silence, heads bowed. Their faces were pale and fearful. At the front of the line, crimson banners waved, marked with a familiar symbol, the Scarlet Witch's crown. Atop a floating dais, surrounded by armored guards glowing red with corrupted runes, hovered her. The Scarlet Empress. This Wanda wore a crown of burning crimson metal, her cape trailing smoke and light. Her eyes were endless pits of red energy, cold and commanding. When she spoke, her voice carried across the ruins like prophecy. The pretender has entered my world, she said softly, yet every ear heard her. The one who abandoned her throne. Wanda hid behind the rubble, trembling. The people dropped to their knees at the Empress's words. Magic thrummed in the ground, so deep, so strong, that it hummed in Wanda's bones. She watched her alternate self glide past like a goddess of ruin. For the first time since she'd arrived, Wanda felt small. Then she saw them. Billy and Tommy, older now, standing behind the Empress. But their eyes, they were empty. Not sons. Soldiers. Her breath caught. "My boys," she whispered. The dark Wanda turned, as if she'd heard the echo. And she smiled. Wanda trailed the procession in silence, her form cloaked by illusion. Her magic fought to stay calm. The air in this universe resisted her, like her presence was a virus it wanted to reject. The streets were lined with statues of the Scarlet Empress, cast in obsidian and red glass, each one more imposing than the last. She wasn't just a leader here. She was legend, and legends demanded loyalty. Or fear. She followed the Empress to a towering citadel where once the Baxter Building had stood. Now it was the Sanctum Imperium, seat of the Scarlet Empire. Inside, Wanda saw them again. Billy, Wiccan, his hands crackling with dark magic that pulsed like her own, only colder. Tommy, speed, pacing, impatient, armored in crimson with a lightning bolt scar carved into his shoulder plate. Wanda stood just beyond the veil of sight, heart-breaking. These were her children, but not the boys she knew. They were men forged in war, shaped by doctrine, shaped by her. The Empress watched them like a queen assessing her knights. "We prepare for the breach," she said. "A new universe resists our will. We will bring them peace, or silence." "Yes, Mother," they answered in unison. Wanda flinched. The word was a dagger. She couldn't stay hidden. She dropped her spell. Billy, Tommy. They turned fast. Magic surged. Lightning snapped. Wiccan's eyes narrowed. "Who are you?" "I'm your mother," Wanda said, voice trembling. "You're not our mother," Speed growled. "She doesn't beg. She commands." The Empress entered behind them, folding her arms. "There you are," she said, as if greeting a guest late to a dinner she never wanted. "I wondered when you'd find your way home." "This isn't home," Wanda said. "It's a prison you've dressed as a kingdom." The Empress smirked. "They needed strength. I gave it to them. You'd have let them stay weak and die." Wanda turned to her sons. "You don't have to be this. I'm not here to take you. I just want you to remember who you were." But Wiccan raised his hand, and a crimson seal bloomed beneath Wanda's feet. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "You're a threat to the Empire." And the cell closed around her. The cell was not made of steel. It was forged from pure chaos magic. Wanda paced its curved red walls as time twisted unnaturally around her. Seconds stretched into minutes, and minutes reversed without warning. This prison was alive, bound to the Empress's will. Wanda's own magic buckled against it like a song sung in the wrong key. But she wasn't here to surrender. When the seal finally opened, the Empress entered alone. No guards, no sons. Just her, cloaked in living flame, eyes unreadable. "You came all this way for ghosts," the Empress said. "Children who chose me over a mother who gave up on them." "They didn't choose you," Wanda replied, rising to her feet. "You made sure they had no choice." The Empress tilted her head, curious. "Are we so different? I did what you were too afraid to do. I took the pain and used it. You buried yours. Pretended it made you noble." Wanda stepped forward. "I healed." "No," the Empress snapped. "You forgot." Power crackled in the space between them, the room unable to contain it. In a flash of red light, the walls exploded outward. The two Scarlet Witches soared into the sky above the Sanctum Imperium, magic lashing in all directions. Chaos collided with corrupted chaos, twin storms tearing through reality. Below, civilians scattered as bolts of energy struck the ground. Above, Mother fought Mirror, not for victory, but for the right to define who they truly were. "You never loved them," Wanda shouted. "I shaped them into survivors," the Empress roared. "You turned them into weapons." The sky split as their spells collided. Time fractured, buildings trembled, and fragments of alternate Earths shimmered in and out of view. Then, in one still moment, Wanda saw her, the girl she used to be. Not the witch, not the weapon, just a woman cradling 2 infants in a candlelit room, whispering lullabies. And she understood what this version of her had lost. Wanda pulled her magic inward. She didn't need to win. She needed to end it. With a single radiant burst of uncorrupted chaos, she shattered the Empress's binding sigil, severing the link between mother and sons. The Empress fell to her knees. Wanda stood over her, eyes glowing. "I'm not your shadow," she whispered. "I'm your warning." Smoke curled over the broken skyline. The Empress lay still, her crimson crown shattered beside her. All that remained of her reign was silence, the kind that follows storms no one thought would end. Wanda stood in the ruins, breathing hard. Her hands trembled with fading magic, but her resolve held. Billy and Tommy hovered nearby, stunned. The red glow had faded from their eyes. The spell was broken. Wanda looked at them, older, stronger, but uncertain. They watched her like strangers, and it hurt more than any magic ever had. Wiccan spoke first. "You're not her." "No," Wanda whispered. "I'm not." Speed stepped forward, glancing down at the fallen Empress. "Then why do you sound like her?" Wanda's voice cracked. "Because I was her. Or could have been. All it took was losing hope, and never finding it again." For a moment, the boys said nothing. Then Wiccan reached out, not with power, but with something far harder, trust. "Why did you come here?" he asked. "I came because I missed you," Wanda said. "Because even if this world twisted you, even if you don't remember the lullabies or the warm nights, I do." She stepped back, the portal spell glowing behind her, the way home flickering open. "You can come with me," she said. "I can try to help you remember. I can't promise it'll be easy." Tommy hesitated. Billy looked at his brother. And then, they didn't move. Not toward her. Not yet. Maybe not ever. Wanda nodded. "Then I'll go. But not because I've given up. Because I believe you'll find your way, when you choose it." She turned toward the light, her heart tearing in silence. As she stepped through the portal, Billy called out, his voice sharp with something new. Not anger, not control. "Wait!" But the gate closed before the word finished echoing. Back in her own world, Wanda stood in a quiet green field. The sun was warm, the wind gentle. She smiled through tears, not for what she'd lost, but for what she refused to become. Some stories don't end in reunion. Some end in restraint. And that is what makes a hero.